Your baby's brain burns about 20% energy even now, and the first 1,000 days decide a lot. Most parents aren't told about the easiest wins. Today, I will show you 20 superfoods for baby brain development, starting with this one. Number 20, bananas. You give bananas when the day feels shaky, and suddenly, your baby settles faster than you expected. Bananas bring vitamin B6, and your body uses B6 to make serotonin, the brain chemical tied to steadier mood and focus. A 100-gram serving gives about 0.37 milligrams B6, roughly 22% of an adult daily value, which is a lot in a few soft bites. Researchers describe B6 as a vitamin that supports a healthy nervous system and brain development, so this snack supports real early wiring. Bananas also add potassium and magnesium, plus small amounts of other B vitamins that keep nerve cells firing smoothly. Here is the sleeper detail. Bananas contain trace choline, the nutrient linked with better memory later when mothers get enough during pregnancy. Keep that in your pocket. Peas solve a different problem. Number 19, peas and green beans. Peas sit on the plate and nobody gets excited. Then you notice fewer crashes after lunch, and it clicks. Cooked green peas give around 5 grams protein and 5 grams fiber per 100 grams, plus iron and vitamin C in each small scoop. That mix helps keep blood sugar steady, and that matters because the brain burns glucose all day. You have seen what happens after straight fruit, energy spikes, then the drop hits hard, and peas flatten that ride. Iron makes this serious. Early life iron status links with how children process information and pay attention later on, and reviews warn that missing nutrients like iron and zinc in the first 1,000 days can leave lifelong deficits in brain function. That turns peas into insurance. Green beans add more fiber and plant compounds that support gut bacteria tied to the gut-brain axis. Now the orange foods step in and shout. Number 18, carrots, pumpkin, and squash. That bright orange spoon looks harmless, but the color is basically a label that says vitamin A. Orange vegetables like pumpkin and winter squash are loaded with beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. Just half a cup of canned pumpkin can give about 955 micrograms of vitamin A, close to a full day's worth for many adults. Vitamin A helps build the retina's light-sensing cells, and it supports immune defenses, which protects sleep and learning when your baby catches every germ. Researchers keep pointing out that micronutrients like vitamin A, folate, and zinc work together during brain growth, shaping neuron formation and connectivity. So when you swirl pumpkin into cereal or offer soft carrot sticks, you feed the build-out. A fun public health detail. Agronomists call orange sweet potato bio-fortified brain food, since 100 grams can cover daily vitamin A needs for a young child in some programs. Red and yellow foods push the immune story even harder. Number 17, peppers and tomatoes. A little pepper or tomato feels like an adult food. Then your baby gets sick less often, and you stop calling it garnish. Red and yellow bell peppers deliver big vitamin C, with some varieties topping 100 milligrams per 100 grams, plus carotenoids that help protect brain cells from oxidative stress. When babies deal with frequent colds, that protection matters because poor sleep and low appetite can drag learning down fast. Tomatoes bring lycopene, a pigment linked with lower inflammation in adults and better protection for cell membranes, including neurons. Brain scientists talk about microinflammation, the small sparks that can nudge development off course. So a soft tomato sauce does more than taste good, it nudges that fire lower. A pediatric nutrition review puts it bluntly. Adequate antioxidants in early diets may support neurocognitive development. Color helps, but fats change the whole signal system. Number 16, olive oil and other gentle fats. You drizzle oil and it feels like nothing happened. Inside the brain, that small move matters more than you think. Researchers describe the brain as a specialized tissue with a higher need for special fats like DHA and specific lipids to keep signals moving. DHA comes later in this list, but everyday fats like extra virgin olive oil bring monounsaturated fatty acids and vitamin E, which help guard fragile cell membranes. Mediterranean diet research links regular olive oil use with better cognitive scores and reduced age-related decline in adults, and you can borrow that idea early. A teaspoon mixed into puree boosts calories for growth, And it improves absorption of fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K, so the food in that bowl hits harder. Experts focused on the first 1,000 days keep warning that missing key nutrients like energy and essential fats can leave deficits later and food cannot fully repair. That makes gentle fats feel like basics, not extras. Now bring in protein that babies can actually handle. Number 15. Tofu and soy. Tofu can feel too plain to bother with, but it quietly covers gaps that show up later in attention and energy. Per 100 grams, firm tofu usually provides around 8 grams protein plus iron and some zinc, with very little saturated fat. Those nutrients keep showing up in neurodevelopment research, and one major review highlights protein, iron, and zinc as part of the shortlist that supports brain structure. Tofu matters even more for plant-based families because it helps cover iron needs when meat stays off the menu. Iron deficiency in infancy links with slower information processing and lower motor scores that can linger into school age, even after levels improve. So this is not a small detail. Use tofu the easy way. Blend it into fruit, scramble it with veggies, or cut soft strips for baby-led weaning. One nutrition scientist said it clearly. Legumes and soy foods can supply high-quality protein essential for brain growth when meat intake is low. Now let dairy handle minerals that brains run on. Number 14. Cottage cheese and mild cheeses. Curds look weird, but babies often love them, and they deliver minerals that help the brain send messages on time. Dairy researchers call cheese and similar foods important sources of calcium, iodine, protein, and B vitamins in children's diets. Calcium does more than build bones. It helps nerve cells release neurotransmitters on command. Iodine supports thyroid hormones that steer brain growth, and low iodine early in life can drag IQ down by several points across a population. Small servings of pasteurized, low-salt cheese pack dense nutrition into tiny volumes, which helps when your baby eats small amounts, but still needs a lot to grow. Policy papers on the first 1,000 days say dairy can be an efficient vehicle for these nutrients alongside breast milk or formula. One culture tip that feels smart. People traditionally graded aged cheese over baby porridges for umami and minerals long before lab data backed it up. Now back to orange comfort, but with serious numbers. Number 13. Sweet potato. Sweet potato feels like comfort food, simple and safe. It also shows up in real nutrition programs for the brain and vision. Just 100 grams of cooked sweet potato can provide close to a full daily vitamin A requirement for a small child, thanks to beta-carotene. Vitamin A supports retina development and strengthens barriers that help keep infections from wrecking sleep and learning. Modern analyses show a 100-gram serving brings about 13 milligrams beta-carotene plus potassium, manganese, and some iron, so it is doing more than filling space. Public health programs in Africa and Asia distribute orange-fleshed sweet potatoes as a brain and vision intervention for young children, and that makes this food feel bigger than a side dish. One large review notes vitamins A, B6, B12, plus key minerals help shape neural circuits tied to attention and emotional regulation. That comfort bowl sets you up for focus, and oats keep it going. Number 12. Oats. Oats can look boring, especially in photos, but they can hold your baby steady when the day gets long. Rolled oats contain roughly 68 grams of carbs and 10 grams of fiber per 100 grams, plus B vitamins like thiamine and folate, and around 13 grams protein. That setup means glucose releases more slowly, so your baby gets a steadier fuel stream instead of sharp spikes. Neuroscience educators often point out that the brain uses about 20% of the body's energy, even though it weighs only a small fraction of total body mass. That is why steadier carbs matter, and the B vitamins in oats support energy metabolism inside neurons, helping them fire again and again during constant learning. Many pediatric diet guidelines suggest iron-fortified or whole-grain cereals as reliable first foods because they share this nutrient-dense, slow-release profile. That is practical advice you can use tomorrow. Now add color that stains everything, and that stain means protection. Number 11. Berries. Berries make a mess, and you know it. That deep color also points to the plant compounds doing real work. Blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries deliver vitamin C and flavonoids. Brain food lists put berries among top memory foods, linking their pigments with sharper focus and slower cognitive aging in adults. That adult data matters here because oxidative stress exists in any fast-working brain, and babies build fast. Animal and human studies suggest berry flavonoids help reduce oxidative stress around neurons and may improve communication between brain cells, especially in memory areas. One review of children's nutrition found diets richer in fruits and vegetables, especially colorful ones, are associated with better cognitive test scores and school performance, so the colors you choose early can connect to later skills. For babies, cooked and mashed berries work well, and soft berry compote in oats or yogurt turns sweetness into protection. The surprise is how much power sits in that tiny smear. Iron changes the story again, and it changes it fast. Number 10. Fortified cereals and iron-rich grains. Infant cereal can look like plain paste, but it can decide how much oxygen reaches the brain every minute. Iron-fortified infant cereals exist because around 6 months, babies start running through the iron stores built before birth. Pediatric policy statements keep repeating that iron, zinc, choline, and long-chain fats are key brain nutrients in the first 1,000 days, and iron sits near the top. Many fortified cereals provide around 5 to 8 milligrams iron per serving, designed to help cover the 11 milligrams per day recommended for older infants. When iron drops, hemoglobin carries less oxygen, and studies show slower processing speed and motor development that can linger even after levels recover. One nutrition review line hits hard. Failure to provide key nutrients during this critical period may result in lifelong deficits despite later repletion. That explains why this boring food keeps its place. Once iron is covered, greens bring the wiring plan. Number 9. Leafy greens and broccoli. Steamed greens smell strong, and babies let you know. But that smell comes with folate, and folate drives the build. Spinach, kale, and broccoli supply folate, vitamin K, and carotenoids. A cup of boiled spinach can deliver close to 940 micrograms of vitamin A equivalents and significant folate, while broccoli adds vitamin C and fiber. Folate supports DNA synthesis, which matters while brain cells divide and organize at high speed. Large position papers on early nutrition list folate alongside iron and choline as key nutrients for neurodevelopment. Folate shortages in pregnancy and infancy link with neural tube defects and later learning difficulties, which helps explain why many countries fortify flour. Broccoli has a lesser-known angle. Its sulfur-containing compounds have drawn interest for protecting brain tissue from oxidative damage, even though most data comes from animal work. So yes, the green stuff earns its spot. Now bring in a food that feeds the gut and the brain together. Number 8. Full-fat yogurt. Yogurt feels too simple to be a brain food. Then you remember, it brings nutrients and live cultures in one bowl. Yogurt carries live cultures plus milk nutrients. Reviews describe yogurt as a good source of protein, calcium, iodine, and vitamin B12, and link regular intake with healthier weight and lower cardiometabolic risk in children. Protein supports growth, calcium supports neuron signaling, iodine supports thyroid hormones that guide brain development, and B12 supports key body processes tied to nerves. The live cultures connect to the gut-brain axis. Hospitals and universities explain that fiber-rich and fermented foods can help keep your gut healthy, and a healthy gut may lower anxiety and support mood. Parents often see a simple pattern. Digestion improves, sleep improves, and behavior gets easier. Stick with plain, unsweetened, full-fat yogurt, then add fruit or ground seeds. That keeps sugar low while the nutrients stay high. Seeds and nuts take this up another level, but you must do it safely. Number 7. Nuts and seeds. A peanut or walnut feels like an allergy worry first. Used the right way, it becomes a small spoon of serious nutrients. Walnuts, almonds, peanuts, chia, and flax carry healthy fats, vitamin E, magnesium, and plant protein. Walnuts stand out because they contain high amounts of ALA, a plant omega-3 fat, and researchers call walnuts the nut type most promising for cognitive health. That is a bold line, and it has a reason. Studies link walnut intake with better memory and learning in animals, and some human work hints at slower mental decline in regular nut eaters. Neurologists have singled out walnuts for dementia protection in adults through omega-3s and antioxidants, which tells you what the nutrient package does. For babies, safety rules everything. Use smooth nut or seed butters thinned with yogurt or water, or very finely ground seeds mixed into cereal. Early peanut introduction under medical guidance appears to lower allergy risk in high-risk infants. That flips the old advice on its head. Legumes keep the iron story going with extra folate. Number 6, lentils and beans. Lentils look basic, like a pantry food you forget about. But one scoop checks several brain boxes in one go. USDA-based data show 100 grams cooked lentils bring around 9 grams protein, 8 grams fiber, about 18% daily iron, and roughly 43% daily folate. That means one toddler-sized portion supports oxygen delivery and DNA building at the same time. Parent education materials explain iron helps form hemoglobin and myoglobin, proteins that carry oxygen to every cell, including neurons. When oxygen delivery dips, attention and processing speed can suffer, and that shows up as tired, fussy, hard day behavior. Folate supports the production of new cells and repair of existing ones, which matters in a fast-growing brain. For families with little or no meat, lentils often become the default brain and blood food several times a week. Some population studies note children who eat more legumes alongside vegetables show better growth and resilience against micronutrient deficiencies. Now switch to a food that feels like butter but works like fuel. Number 5, avocado. Avocado feels like a cheat code for baby feeding. Soft, high energy, and it fits what the brain uses. A typical avocado serving delivers monounsaturated fat, fiber, potassium, and folate. Brain health articles highlight avocados because they supply lutein, a carotenoid that crosses the blood-brain barrier and builds up in areas linked with memory and learning. That detail matters because it explains why avocado stays on the list even without hype. In one analysis, adults who ate more lutein-rich foods, such as avocado, performed better on tests of attention and problem-solving, and imaging suggested more efficient brain networks. That adult evidence does not guarantee baby outcomes, but it shows the nutrient pathway is real. Clinicians focused on the first 1,000 days often recommend avocado as a starter solid because it hits the high-energy, healthy fat, soft texture checklist with no cooking. Mash it, mix it, and move on. Now the conversation gets more direct with iron and B12. Number 4, iron-rich meats. Meat on a baby plate can feel like a big step, but it delivers a form of iron that plant foods struggle to match. Beef and lamb bring heme iron, zinc, and vitamin B12 in a form the body absorbs easily. Dietary guideline tables list lean meats among the highest bioavailable iron sources for young children, and that one word changes outcomes. Vitamin B12 supports myelin formation, the fatty coating that helps nerve impulses travel quickly. A pediatrics policy paper said it clearly. Failure to provide enough iron, zinc, and B12 during rapid growth can leave effects that later supplements cannot fully reverse. That is why many feeding guides suggest offering small amounts of soft meat or meat-based baby foods from around 6 months. Use the practical route. Slow-cooked meat blended into vegetables or lentils becomes very soft, and it spreads those nutrients through the whole bowl. Meats also boost absorption of non-heme iron from plant foods in the same meal. After iron comes the nutrient that parents keep missing, choline. Number 3, eggs. Eggs feel too normal to be special. Then you learn the choline number and you stop skipping them. One large egg supplies about 147 milligrams choline, close to a quarter of the recommended intake for many adults and meaningful for a small child. Choline helps build phospholipids in brain cell membranes, and it supports acetylcholine production, a neurotransmitter tied to memory and attention. That is a direct brain link, not a vague wellness claim. A Cornell study following mothers who consumed higher choline during pregnancy found their children had better visual memory at age 7, and the authors said modest increases may produce cognitive benefits for offspring. That is one of those lines that sticks. Public messaging has started to catch up, and some WIC materials call choline an important compound for your baby's brain development. Eggs are the easiest choline delivery system most families already buy. Now add the fat that makes up a big share of brain tissue. Number 2, fatty fish. A tiny flake of salmon seems too small to matter, but that bite carries DHA, a fat the brain already uses. DHA makes up a significant share of the long-chain fats in the brain and retina. Clinical trials in preterm infants fed DHA-supplemented formula showed better visual acuity in early infancy. And one trial found higher mental development scores at 12 months when DHA and other nutrients were included. That is measurable, and it helps separate real nutrition from trend talk. The American Academy of Pediatrics explains that when mercury risk is balanced, moderate fish intake can provide important benefits for neurodevelopment through DHA and other nutrients. Sardines, salmon, and trout sit in the sweet spot. High DHA with low mercury. Recent meta-analysis work suggests DHA combined with ARA in infant formula has positive effects on cognitive development, echoing what breast milk studies hinted at earlier. Fish upgrades the brain's structure, but the real base starts before solids. Number 1. Breast milk and iron-fortified formula. Feeding looks routine, and it happens many times a day. That routine builds the base your baby's brain uses for everything else. In the first 6 months, human milk or properly designed infant formula supplies almost everything the brain requires: energy, lactose, proteins, long-chain fats like DHA and ARA, plus immune factors that keep infections from hijacking development. A major American Academy of Pediatrics statement on the first 1,000 days lists protein, iron, zinc, choline, folate, iodine, vitamins A, D, B6, B12, and long-chain polyunsaturated fats as key neurodevelopment nutrients, and breast milk naturally carries many of them. When breastfeeding is not possible or needs support, the AAP recommends iron-fortified infant formula rather than cow's milk for the entire first year, because formula is engineered to match brain and growth needs much more closely. One pediatric warning sums up the stakes. Failure to ensure adequate nutrition in this period can result in lifelong deficits in brain function. Build the base first, then use the foods above to stack smart meals. You just saw how tiny foods steer mood, focus, and memory early. Keep momentum, because the next topic gets stranger and practical. Tap the next video on your screen now.